Our state has seen a lot of change over the decades, and many things we once proudly called made in Maine have gone away. But there are some places and products that have stood the test of time.
One of them is in Eastport, where Raye's mustard mill is still producing that spicy concoction after more than a century in business with the same family. And the current owners have come up with an ingenious way to make sure it keeps running. 207's Don Kerrigan had to go to Eastport to take a look.
It may be fair to say that Eastport is a city that was built by fish, in particular those shiny little herring called sardines. At one time, Eastport was the sardine capital of the country. And that starts our story. Back in 1900, sardine plants filled the city's waterfront, 22 of them at one point, packing and canning the little fish to be shipped everywhere. And one of the favorite things to add to those cans was mustard.
Mustard was a very good way to do it because it enhanced the flavor of the fish.
So in 1903, J. Wesley Raye built this mill to grind mustard seed between huge stones to make the mustard for all those sardines. Originally powered by steam, it switched over to electricity in the 1920s, but otherwise, says Kevin Raye, the mill and the process are amazingly unchanged.
We start off with this seed, this mustard seed. We're now having all of our mustard seed grown in Aroostook County. So all of our mustard seed comes from right here in Maine.
The seeds are ground to flakes, then soaked with water, vinegar, and salt, and then begin a journey into the grinding stones.
See that pump going up and down? That's pumping mustard from the batching tank into the first stone. So it runs through this pipe, it drops down into a hole in the top stone, drops to the bottom stone and spatters across it. The top stone turns around it and grinds the mustard.
The stones are grooved in a pattern to let the mixture flow through between the top and bottom. Pumped from one set of stones to the next, grinding finer and finer.
As it passes along each of the stones, it becomes thicker and creamier.
And remarkably, these are the same stones, the same pumps and shafts and pulleys that were here in the 1920s.
And we are the only operation of this kind left in North America. People love to visit here and to see it and to see and experience really a very rare example of second industrial revolution machinery that's still working every day doing what it was intended to do.
Tourism and the growing popularity of more than 30 flavors of Raye's mustard prompted Kevin and Karen Raye to open a gift shop in downtown Eastport. A busy spot in summer. What is it that makes them want to come, do you think?
Well, I think that if they hear about us, they learn about the authenticity of how we make the product, that we're a small family-owned business. People like that, like to support local.
And a place for local folks to share their history.
I can remember walking across the street from where I lived and taking my gallon jug and getting a gallon of mustard for a quarter. You can't buy a gallon of mustard for a quarter nowadays.
The two Rayes are fourth-generation owners of this business and are determined to keep it going in Eastport.
It's the last manufacturing jobs left in the community. It's the last jobs associated with the historic sardine industry that are left in the community. And it's an important part of history, an important part of tourism.
So they came up with a plan: create a non-profit Raye's Mustard Mill Museum, which will own the property, promote tourism, and most likely lease out the mustard-making business to whomever wants to run it.
Because Raye's Mustard is a great little company, but it truly is a little company. And for us to do what we really need to do to bring tourism to Eastport, the little company couldn't do it all by itself, but the joint partnership with the museum, it's going to make a lot of difference.
They've been raising money with several large grants and other donations, and this fall they will break ground for the new museum building. It will go up around the old mill to protect and preserve the business and the history.
Everything will be housed inside of this new facility, but when you walk in, the old facility will be there.
That's right. They say the actual workings of the mustard mill will be unchanged and keep on making mustard, but will be protected from the chance of some future buyer taking them away.
And now, after the whole sardine industry is gone and has been gone for many, many years, his little mustard mill is still there, still grinding out mustard the old-fashioned way.
And that apparently is just fine with the mustard-loving world. And for the Rays, it will be...
But it's going to feel good because we're going to know that we made a difference, that this is going to go on forever.
Eastport has seen plenty of ups and downs over the decades. But the mustard from these rumbling stones is still here. The business still going, still thriving, still sending a taste of this town out to the world.
Cool to see that in action. Kevin and Karen Raye say the new museum will provide tours, education, and lots of history of a fascinating part of Maine.
They are still getting donations to help cover the costs, and we have more information about that on our website. And of course, they're still making and selling mustard, which you can find in many stores in Maine and also online. Mustard is one of those things you just don't think about very much.
No.